part of the turnaround. Cedric's the same, with whatever happens to Cedric here over the coming days, but a huge part of the turnaround, and Cedric from the very get-go, Cedric was here in those 18, 19, 20, 21 seasons that were ugly, and I was here in 21, so I got to experience one of them. But just to be a part of the turnaround, you don't ever lose that label. That means something.
Is Athlete ready to come back?
He's going to be in the building later today, and my guess is he will catch tomorrow if all checks out today. Comes in healthy, body feels good. Good chance he'll be squatting behind the dish tomorrow.
Same with Aiken?
Yes. I don't think we'll see him in the building, but he will most likely be active tomorrow given everything goes good today. He pitched yesterday. So we got to kind of check all the boxes and make sure he recovered.
Mayo's really started to find his stride at the plate. What's really impressed you the most about how he's been able to develop despite kind of not having an everyday role?
Well, if you guys are watching, he's making a little adjustment right now, too, in the box. It's not just the same swing that's going out and doing it. The hitting coaches have been in there working with him. They've made a recent adjustment, which has coincided with kind of the moving forward offensively. So that's exciting. I think when you see guys do that and then they start to take off, there's some realness to that. So I'm excited about that on the defensive side. He's out there working. He's making it important. He's understanding that what average defense looks like in the big leagues. It's nothing like average defense in the minor leagues. It's not even close. So he is making defense probably as important in his career as he ever has right now, watching him out there. So we're just excited about all that. And I think all that lends itself to him maturing and getting himself ready for when he does get a real opportunity to run with it.
That adjustment you mentioned, do you think it can be beneficial for a guy who's still developing when he's not playing every day to be able to kind of work through some stuff more so than a guy who has to focus?
It's been the design by this the whole time. I know people want to see him play every day, but we're not fools. It's part of the design in all this is to lengthen the runway right now and give him a chance to tread water for a little bit in the big leagues, and then hopefully he goes. Not every player is going to come in and do what Gunnar did, essentially, and just kind of light the world on fire initially. But, you go back to 23, so Gunnar comes up in 22, plays good, home run in Cleveland, flying around the bases, helmet flying off, looked like Gunnar Henderson. We didn't even know who he was at that point. 23, he stunk the first 2 months, because he was the everyday guy, and then he had to fight to get out of it, and thankfully he did. But I think not every player is meant to go through that, not that Coby isn't, but just with how this plays out, having the all-star DH playing first base for every day, it kind of gives us a chance to ease Coby into being the player we want him to be.
Do you think once this is over, starting Friday, guys like Cowser and Rutschman haven't had the years that they wanted to have, do you think that their minds will be free, or will there be added pressure on them, knowing that they're really the guys now?
I don't think that is why they're not having the years that they want. I think it's maybe a little bit of the normal second, third years in the big league type stuff where you're having to make a little bit of an adjustment, and I know that the hitting guys are in the cage, and their big responsibility right now with those guys, and they're doing it every day, is to get those guys going and get those guys right and find the swings that work for those guys. And it's also the player's responsibility to figure that out. So, there's no scenario where we want to see these guys continue to struggle. And there's no scenario where while they're struggling, we want to see them stand pat with where they're at. We want to see them make the adjustments. As the league has adjusted to them, they're going to be forced to make adjustments as well. And they are doing it, and we're proud of them for doing it. So the big leagues are hard, man. I mean, it is so hard to hit in the big leagues right now. And even though guys like that, Moo and Adley, have the ability to be all-star 5, 6, 7-time all-star caliber players, there are going to be points where they struggle. And I think we've seen that at times. And I do think in Adley's case, we saw flashes of him coming out of it before he got hurt. And then obviously with Cowser, once he got back, he looked great. And he's just kind of stubbed his toe a little bit here recently. But just talking with him, he's in a really good spot. We fully expect him to get moving forward.